Makó lies on the right-hand side bank of River Maros in Csongrád County. The town has a wealth of history in architecture and intellectual heritage. It gained national and international fame through becoming the foremost expert in growing onions and having unique medical thermal water. The first charter of the town dates back to 1247 that mentions Makó by the name of Volnak, which means ferry, a crossing across the river. In documents from almost a decade later, 1256, the name however is spelled Valnak, which comprised of two parts of the settlement, Upper Valnak and Lower Valnak. The town's current name comes from the end of the 13th century from Ban Makó, a noble descendant of the Csanad tribe. The town saw a quick development in the Middle Ages. In 1332 it erected a church, established a market and collected taxes. By the mid-16th century, a number of small villages became part of the town and the population reached approximately 1,500 to 2,000. During the Turkish invasion, Makó was an independent town called Halász, thus its residents enjoyed some protection. They had to pay taxes only once a year and they were free of arbitrary rule. They could establish an independent local government. Yet the Turks still burned down Makó 3 times in 1552, 1596 and 1686. The town recovered relatively quickly after the first 2 attacks, but the last attack destroyed the booming settlement completely. When most of the country gained independence from the Turks and started to develop, Makó ceased to exist, and for 13 years there were no attempts of resettlement. The establishment of the current town dates back to 1699, when free claims of land with 4 years of tax exemption were allowed to facilitate resettlement. The settlers were separated by their religious affiliation, so first came the establishment of the Catholic and Reformed sections, later the Jewish and Russian quarters. Population started to boom and Makó has become the capital of Csanad County in 1730. In this century a number of churches were built. St. Stephen Roman Catholic Church, Downtown Reformed Church, a Greek Catholic Church, and Calvary Chapel. River Maros was partially regulated and there were 39 water, steam and windmills in town. Because of new settlers, the town started to grow. The town center was built at the junction of the roads to Szeged, Arad and Vásárhely. Later, new homes were built in the Újváros new town area. However, in a short while, even these areas proved to be insufficient, and as the town further expanded to the east and northeast directions. The flood of 1821 destroyed almost 900 houses and brought about significant changes in the life of the town. The vineyards were uprooted and replaced by vegetable gardens. Mass growing of onion was started. After the great destruction, Bishop László Kőszegi ordered Antal Giba, surveyor, to do the first major city planning. The haphazard curved streets were straightened out. After the Austro-Hungarian Compromise of 1867, the town started to boom again. The economy grew and Makó became the second rural town after Szeged to have paved roads and drilled artesian well. Electric power grid was established and the rail bridge and the road bridge were constructed on the river. The first train arrived in Makó in 1883. New areas were allotted to new settlers, thus the town was developed on the peripheries too. Makovian historian Miklós Szirbik, an outstanding priest of the Reformed Church, had collected data about the history of the town until his death in 1853. His collection is still an invaluable source of historical information to this day. The Treaty of Trianon devastated Makó. The town was cut from its traditional markets in Transylvania and Banat. The area of cultivated fields was reduced, which rendered 3,000 people unemployed. With the refugees from the areas given to other countries by the treaty, the population of the town peaked at 37,141 in 1920. There were large-scale developments after the flood of 1970. New housing estates were established with blocks of flats, a medical center, library, museum, and vegetable research center were built. The existing schools and the hospital were expanded. After the political changes in 1989, large factories that were fundamental to providing enough jobs were closed. To invigorate industry, Makó was declared a state entrepreneurial area in 1998. Also, an industrial park was established in the northeastern boundary of the town. Attila József Museum, which collects artifacts not only from the town but the surrounding region, was awarded the prestigious Museum of the Year title in 2005. The exhibitions show more than 700 years of history of Makó and the work and history of famous people born in the town. Visitors can see the Wax Museum, which shows the marketplace of the town in the 1900s. Beside the wax figures, there are original tools and equipment, as well as pictures and models of the market. Inside the building there are paintings and sculptures, while in the open-air museum there is a traditional peasant house, carpenter and blacksmith workshops, gypsy pit house, and granary. Part of the museum, but an independent building, is the Eszperszéd House, which is an exhibition area for literary heritage. It remembers the works and life of János Eszperszéd, Gyula Juhász, Attila József, Ferenc Móra, and Gyula Rudnyi in Makó. It focuses on the local history of the press, politics, and theater too. Joseph Gallem, who was the chief engineer of the 4T model, a famous and internationally known person, was born in Makó. The museum has a permanent exhibition commemorating his achievements. Joseph Pulitzer, journalist, publisher, the founder of modern journalism, is another renowned person who was born here. The Pulitzer Prize, that was established according to his will, is the highest award that journalists can receive in America. In Makó, the Cultural Center, Onion House, inaugurated in 1998, was the first in a series of new public buildings that followed in the 2000s. The János Erdély Sports Hall, the bus station, the House of Public Offices, the new Buza Street crash, the new Spa and Wellness Center, the new school building in Calvin Square, the impressive new municipal library that opened in May 2019, all were designed by the world-famous organic architect Imre Makovec. For the consistent creation of new architectural values and the preservation of old ones, the city was awarded the János Hild Prize in 2010. Makó has become known by the onion grown here, which is a Hungaricum, but its touristic value was boosted by winning the title of the Hungarian city with the most flowers. However, its main tourist attraction is the thermal water that was discovered in 1956. The spa has been expanded ever since, and in January 2012, the impressive new buildings, wellness section, medicinal and aquapark features were added. Medicinal mud collected from the river Maros is an addition to medicinal water. Thus, the Hagymatikum Spa is the town's greatest attraction in tourism. Today, Makó is a regional center and an important asset to EU and international relations as the southeastern gate of the country. Makó has gained a lot of recognition since the turn of the millennium. It was named an investment-friendly city in 2009. It received the title of the city in Hungary with the most flowers and the Silver Award of Entente Flora Europe as part of the consistent development. The city of Makó and its surroundings are easily accessible by a well-established network of cycle paths. For cyclists and hikers, the villages of Apátfalva, Kizombor, Maroslan and Ófoldák are quickly and safely accessible by bicycle. A special hiking trail for visitors to our town is the educational trail between Makó and Apátfalva, which is a special experience to walk, scooter or cycle on the banks of the Maros River. The green signposting starts in Makó at the railway crossing at the end of Liget Street. Then after the adventure park, it continues through the forest to the Körös-Maros National Park, passing through the beautiful mining lakes and the Ludvar Islands, where you can admire waterfowl. Makó is also known as the onion capital of Hungary, so the Onion Festival in September offers a special professional, gastronomic and cultural program for all residents and visitors. Anyone can try a horse-drawn carriage tour of the city. The small train that runs through the town covers many of Makó's attractions, so it's really worth getting on it and trying it out. If you want to see the city as a family or in a small group, you can take a 4-person bike ride in Makó. All visitors can also take advantage of the boat trips on the Maros, the country's swiftest river. And speaking of the Maros River, the Makó Canopy Walkway is a special attraction to the right bank of the river. It is the second of its kind in Hungary and it is designed to showcase the floodplain environment and wildlife. The municipality of Makó started to develop the Maros River bank with new attractions and experiences to supplement the new spa and to satisfy the increased needs of tourists. As part of this, an adventure park has been built with a number of adventure elements, where the bravest can cross the Maros River to the other side, either by bike or on a Tyrol-style zipline. The city of Makó welcomes all its guests.